Hi, I'm Oliver.
I'm Jake.
Today we'll be demonstrating how to run a 3F vertical uphill MIG beam.
For today's demo, we will be using 1/4-inch mild steel cut into 2-inch by 6-inch coupons. Using either a flap disc or a knotted wire wheel, you're going to want to remove any rust or mill scale from the center portion and edges of your coupons. At this point, it's important to make sure that your contact tip and gas nozzle are clean and the appropriate size for the wire being used, as well as the style of MIG gun.
Make sure your roller tension is set properly. You can test this by pulling the trigger under your glove. You're going to want it to coil up. I've got my machine set at 18.5 volts and 230 for the wire speed. These settings are where my machine is comfortable, so you might have to play around to make sure that you can get a proper weld. Now you're going to tack your coupons together in a T-joint position and then tack it upright. Make sure the height is reasonable so that you can comfortably weld the entire length. Before beginning the weld, I'm going to take a few dry runs to make sure that I won't get tired throughout the weld or get caught up on anything. I want to make sure that I'm properly braced and don't get tired throughout the weld. I do this by locking my arms into my hip and keeping my weight on a plate to the left. A few things you want to be aware of when welding is maintaining a correct work angle, stick out, and consistent manipulation of the puddle. There's multiple weave patterns you can follow when welding MIG vertically. In this example, I'm using a rainbow shape because it's easiest for me to stay consistent, pausing equally on both sides of the puddle. It also helps me to maintain the correct stick out, no more than 3/4 of an inch, and the right work angle, just slightly below 90 degrees.
You can see here how even Oliver's travel speed is, as well as the consistent manipulation of the puddle going back and forth across the inside of the joint, pausing briefly at the edges of the weld. It's important to not spend too long in the middle of the joint, as it will lead to excessive buildup of material.
Alright, this is the result of our vertical MIG 3F weld. We've got what we're looking for. I've got minimal undercut throughout the weld. It's consistent in width, 1/4-inch fillet, and by the shape of the ripples, we've got a nice half moon, so that indicates that I wasn't moving too quickly. So here we got an example of a mistake that happened. My bead appearance is a little small because I was moving too quickly, and you can also notice that I was moving too fast by the shape of the weld, the ripple effect. It's more V'd rather than curved, mooned. Another example here, my ripples got a little bit too exaggerated, so I was too spaced apart, and you want to keep that a little bit tighter. Also, I've got some undercutting issues in here, which is another problem with where my weave went wrong.